I broke this bolt. You need to do a head gasket that's leaking. Don't buy that. Well, hopefully she seals up and it's not a warped head or something. Look at that. Alright, so I did a head gasket on actually the whole top end. Piston, head gasket, everything. I don't know. There's a video on it a couple years ago, or last year. Anyway, now it sounds like this. So I don't know if you can hear it, but all the compression's just going out of the side of the head. So I'm going to take the head back off. I don't think I'm going to have to dig too far down like I did last time. Like last time I did the piston and everything. I think it'll just be, hopefully, a head gasket. I bought a new one here. So I'll take the old one off, compare it to this one, hopefully see a problem, and then try it out. I just can't figure out where. It's a little wet here, so I kind of thought maybe that's where, but we'll take it apart and see what we can figure out. I think I'm going to paint this thing again because I'm kind of over the crazy design. I can't remember if I got to take the starter and everything off because I have to remove like the cowl or like the top cover of the engine, and I think I have to take this off to get to those bolts, but we'll see. No, it's a spark plug. Alright. Do I have to take that off? Yeah, I think so. Other than this, it's worked good for sure, but it always had that sound since I put it back together. I just kind of didn't feel like redoing it the next day, so I kind of rode it around and drove it the way it was, and they worked fine for the longest time, but I don't really want to do any more damage. Hopefully it wasn't just that bolt loose. Let me tighten that up and see. I don't think. Oh, I got the battery undone. Ah, whatever. Okay. The question is, do I have to take the starter off? I think the answer is yes. Before I take all these head bolts out, I'm just gonna put a bit of torque on them, just see if there's one that's noticeably loose. That one was kind of finger tight. Like, one finger, see if I can loosen it. Yeah, it's... That was not very tight. Yeah, that's loose too. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. That's loose. Okay. Let me torque them down. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that wasn't 18. That's 18. Okay, let's try this one. Let me do this finger tight one here, where the big leak is. I definitely had some loose ones up the front. Alright, so it was this one here that was basically finger tight. And you can see where it was leaking. So I do have a replacement head gasket, but I'm gonna just try, like I torqued it, I'm gonna try running it and see if we can hear a leak. And there was a couple other that were slightly loose, but this one was definitely, hopefully, the problem. I'm gonna put some spray 9 on here and see if I can see something leaking. See if we get any bubbles. Oh yeah. Alright, I'm gonna put some spray 9 right there. Oh yeah, you can see it. Look at that. Well, hopefully she seals up and it's not a warped head or something. Okay, you can definitely see where it was. Man, it's oily in there. You can definitely see where it was leaking all up here. And that's the head gasket. Right there is where she was leaking. So I'm hoping that I can clamp the new one properly and have it not leak, but... because I mean, really, it looks fine. I definitely think it's getting a bit of oil through the intake valve here, because that's like... that is soaked. And there's no valve seals on these engines, so it's kind of... the valve guide wears, it's just... it is what it is. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try. So the low spot was, or high spot, it was where it was leaking, which is where the plug is, which is kind of like from here around to here. So, right now I'm even pressure and it's, I mean, it's touching everywhere, so I'm going to go a little further and bolt it on again and see what we got. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. I don't know if I should go a little further or just put it on again and try. I'm starting to think I'm not going to be able to fix this, but we'll see here. I'll try one more time. This scrape, it's not gasket material, it's almost just like rust on the edge here. I'm wondering if that's kind of holding us up a little. So, I'll try this for the third time here. This is that stud here. I'm gonna put in the vise, back this out, see if I gotta run a tap through it, because it's not in good shape. Don't want to break this off inside there. I think I'll just do half and half. I'll flip it over and go from the other side here and play it safe. There's that. Okay, that thing is like new now. So that's good. Now I think I'll clean this up just to be safe. This seems clean. Yeah. That's what you want. If this don't work, like I'm done playing with golf carts for a while. spinning it and there's nothing coming out. Let me get to the compression stroke here. Oh no, it's still bubbling. Yep. Yeah, this ain't good. Alright, well, it's still leaking, so I gotta do a bit of thinking of what I'm gonna do here. I know a lot of people put like a, whatever, Harbor Freight Princess Auto equivalent in these. So I may do that, or I don't know. I was thinking I could try to find like a used engine to try to, you know, with a head on it, swap head, see if it's the head or what it is, but I am not sure what's going on. Alright, so this is the end where it's leaking, and it's right where the gasket comes around this corner. I had a straight edge here, and I was bringing it all the way across, and it was good touching both here and here all the way, and then right when it gets here, it dipped this section here, you can see daylight, and then as soon as you get here, it seals up again. So it's that one little section, probably an inch section, not 3/4 of an inch right there. That's where it's warped, and that's where it's leaking, which lines right up with all this. So I'm gonna get creative. I can't do any harm. I'm gonna put gasket maker or JB Weld something in this area, so when I clamp it down, hopefully it seals, and yeah, cross your fingers. Alright, back home. So I bought this stuff. It obviously didn't work. Why would it? But I figured I'd try. So if you need to do a head gasket that's leaking, don't buy that. But what I did do is I broke this bolt. Well, not this one. These are all replaced. But I did break this bolt, the previous one that was in there. So it's, you know, they were all like this. And it just stretched. I was turning it and it kept turning, and I was like, okay, this doesn't feel right. And then pop. So what I'm thinking is these bolts are stretching, and you know, whatever, the torque was too much for the bolt, and it was, so I was torquing it at 18 foot-pounds. Maybe it was only torquing it at 15, or I have no idea. Anyway, all the bolts are gone except this one because it's a stud. So I gotta reuse that. These ones are all replacement bolts, and I had to double up the washers because they're a little long, but that doesn't really matter. And they all torque down, so now I'm gonna put some soapy water on here and see if we get bubbles. Hope we don't get bubbles. If we get bubbles, I'm parking this thing behind the sea container and I'm not driving the golf cart. Right. I'll get all that on there. Let's turn her over and look for bubbles. Nothing. I think we're good. I'm gonna recheck the torques. It's been on there probably 15-20 minutes. I'll recheck them if they're good. This thing's going back together. So I'm gonna put all this back on and I'll bring you back when we're about to start her. Alright, I think we got her. Smoking a little bit, but that's just because I got spray 9 WD-40 and sealant on everything. I don't hear that air leak anymore. A bit of valve noise, but the thing's old and it's wore out. That's to be expected. But I think as far as like, is it fixed, the head gasket? Yeah, I think it is. For basically free, because I didn't need that sealant. So basically it cost me 10 bucks. Alright, let's take this thing for a spin. These are doing good, if anybody's wondering. Those two small hives over there are two that I made from those two. So last year I had those two, this year I have those and those, so I got 4 total. Alright, so today I'm going to repaint this golf cart. This is why. Look at it. Not a big fan anymore. So I think I'm going to paint it either that green, mainly because I have paint left over from it, or which is right there. I might paint it, actually, let's look. I have some white too. Here's some white. I think this is a base clear. Yeah, base color. So as long as I have enough clear coat, I might just paint it this white too. We'll see. Anyway, it's gonna be a pretty quick job. I'm just gonna strip all, it's really just the 2 pieces, the front and the back. Take it off, scuff it down, spray a coat of paint on it. It's a golf cart that's old, doesn't run very good. Probably never gonna sell it, so we'll throw some white or green on it, not sure yet, and yeah, we'll go from there. What would have been easier is to just not paint it like this in the first place, but that green single stage, so that would make my life a lot easier. But then I think the golf cart would look better white. So, not really sure what I'm gonna do. Honestly, if I painted it like the car, like kind of green, but then put some flat or satin black on it, I think that would look kind of cool. Alright, can I get it off here? Yep. Oh, this thing looks silly now. There's nothing holding that on. Yeah, that's it. Still in gear or what? That should be neutral. Easier. Ta-da! Didn't film painting it. I already did that once. But one thing I am gonna do now. Actually, I'll show you the paint job first. It's covered in water right now, but it turned out decent. The thing with the previous paint job, it was so random that you didn't really see any of the imperfections, like, you know, any scratches, runs, waviness, uneven spots were all absorbed by the, I don't even know what you want to call that paint job, but you couldn't see anything. Now you can. So you look at this car that actually had body work done. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. But then you go up to this thing, then she's got some texture, but it's not horrible. There is just a few spots, like here, there's a run that was in the previous paint job, but again, you couldn't see it, but now you can. There's a scratch there because I was putting it together by myself and rushing. Look over here. There's a couple more sags in here, but honestly, it's not bad. With the back, I'm gonna, there's actually like a panel that's supposed to go here, like a plastic panel. What I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna tape off this body line, and here I'll probably, I don't know, come up here And I'm gonna spray rocker guard, just make it black. And then there's a cover that goes here. So there's this cover that looks horrible. I'm gonna paint that black too. And hopefully it just kind of cleans up the back of the cart and it'll match the, you know, the floor mat and everything else. The only thing that won't match is this interior brown color, but honestly, not too worried about that. Just, I want it to look presentable, just at first glance, which I think it's almost there. So I will film that, because it's kind of, well, it's boring, but it's new to me. So let's do it before it rains, because it's supposed to rain all day. Something else I'm getting pretty excited to work on are those square bodies that I got out there. So I got all the metal for it, well, that I think I need. So these are the outer rockers. And I was actually impressed at how thick they are. Like, they're made out of some, like, yeah, they're pretty thick. I was expecting to get a bunch of pop can, you know, metal and not be able to weld it together, but no, it's pretty good. And then the rest of it's out in the truck, but once this golf cart's done, 90%, same as I did this Mustang. I didn't finish it, I just finished it enough that it looks finished, right? There's no sense doing it 100%. In case you run out of work to do, you can have something else. Same with the golf cart, I'll get it just about done. You know, you can run and drive it, but it won't be 100%, but again, that's just kind of the way I do things. So once everything in here is 90% done, I'll start those trucks, and I'll probably, I'm not sure what I'll do. I'm thinking I'll maybe, I don't know. Part of me wants to like get the motor out of one, put it in the other, get it running, driving, then do the rockers. But the other part of me is like, well, I know it needs the rockers done. Why not, while it's light, there's no motor in it, why not bring it in, take the carpet out, whatever else in the interior I need to take out, and then do the rockers, do what I know it needs to be done, and then get it running, and then do the body on it. So I don't know, we'll see. I'll have to, like, the box will have to come off, because I bought cab corners and I'm sure it needs cab corners. Like, visually looking at it, it needs the rockers, inner and outer. The cab corners look okay, like there's paint on the outside of them, but I'm thinking that paint is covering a little surprise, so I don't know. Anyway, this video has nothing to do with those trucks. It's just kind of blabbering on. So yeah, let's do some backyard hack job paint work to this golf cart. And I'll give it a scuff once I tape it off here. I just don't want to tape, I don't want to scuff past where I'm going to tape and make this a complete mess. So it comes off the corner. There we go. This stuff's pretty handy. This is just Amazon. I don't remember how much it was, but it wasn't much, and it's good enough for doing this. I'm gonna rip it, reposition. That. The only thing that sucks about it, the tape's kind of about as sticky as you'd expect Amazon tape to be, so it's kind of not the greatest for that, but then you can just come back after and clean it up with some good stuff. Okay. Alright, I'll bring you back once I got this all taped up and everything ready to spray. I got a guy coming. Well, first of all, I had that red Fox body Mustang I bought for the transmission for this 69, and I got it for like, I don't remember, hundreds of dollars. It wasn't a lot, $500 maybe. Yeah, and to buy the transmission just on its own, it was much more than that. So instead of just scrapping the car, I posted it up just for parts, you know, if anybody wanted this and that and whatever else. The motor's locked up, but lots of trim and doors and whatever. Another guy coming to cut a few pieces off, so I'm going to run him an extension cord out. Hopefully I got enough. And yeah, he's going to throw me another $200-300, so I'm already up on the car and got the parts off the car that I needed. And I didn't just use the transmission, I used the transmission mount. I used it and cut it and modified it to fit this. The exhaust I used, I cut it all up and re-welded it for this. Nuts, bolts, all kinds of stuff. So, alright, so buddy just left, bought a bunch of parts. So I'm officially making money off that car now, plus got the parts that I needed off of it. So that's the way you want to do it. So anyways, now I got this all masked off. Beautiful. All right. It was way better. Yeah. I think I might spray a bit of paint on that exhaust too. It's looking a little rough. I'm sure that'll work. Alright, so tape's off. I got these little plastic guards or whatever back on it. So I think it's done. And then I ran a bit of polish on this because I feel like that was a little dull, so that brightens it up. And then I glued that back on. And I think we're gonna call that done. Alright, thanks for watching. That's it for this video. Next one, it's probably gonna have something to do with those trucks. Might just be kind of be like an introduction kind of going through them, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna start getting into those and do something along the lines of metal work and see what we can get done. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Later.